Did you take this gun or any gun like it and blow your son's brains out on June 7th or any day or any time?
No, I did not.
Mr. Murdaugh, if you take a .300 blackout, such as this, and fire it into your wife Maggie's leg, torso, or any part of her body?
No, I did not.
Did you shoot a .300 blackout into her head, causing her death?
Mr. Griffin, I didn't shoot my wife or my son anytime, ever.
Alec Murdaugh took the stand, and right off the bat, he denied the murders. Today was his story, his words, and his chance to tell it. Our Tara Jabor is live outside the Colleton County Courthouse. So Tara, how did Alec seem when he was on the stand?
Katie, Alec Murdaugh had a range of emotions when he was on the stand today. He was on direct with the defense for over 3 hours. At some points, he was calm and cool and collected. Other points, he was upset and he could barely speak. And at some points, he was very angry. Now, Alec Murdaugh admitted that he lied to law enforcement and that he lied to his family throughout the investigation. Defense attorney Jim Griffin asked about that 8:44 p.m. video on Paul Murdaugh's phone. In the video, you see a chocolate lab, and many people have testified they heard the voices of Alec, Maggie, and Paul. The state says that video was taken minutes before Maggie and Paul were murdered. Let's hear what Alec had to say about that video.
Mr. Murdaugh, is that you on the kennel video at 8:44 p.m. on June 7th, the night Maggie and Paul were murdered?
It is.
Were you in fact at the kennels at 8:44 p.m. on the night Maggie and Paul were murdered?
I was.
Did you lie to SLED Agent Owen and Deputy Laura Rutland on the night of June 7th and told them that you stayed at the house after dinner?
I did lie to them.
Did you lie to Agent Owen and Agent Croft on the follow-up interview on June 10th that the last time you saw Maggie and Paul was at dinner?
I did lie to them.
And in the interview of August 11th, did you tell Agent Owen and Agent Croft, did you lie to them by telling them that you were not down at the kennels on that night?
Yes.
Now, Alec says that he was sorry to his parents, he was sorry to Maggie's parents, but most importantly, he says he was sorry to his wife, Maggie, his son, Paul, and his other son, Buster. At one point, Jim Griffin asked why Alec lied to SLED.
Alec, why did you lie to Agent Owen, Agent Croft, and Deputy Rutland about the last time you saw Maggie and Paul?
As my addiction evolved over time, I would get in these situations or circumstances where I would get paranoid thinking. It could be anything that triggered it. It might be a look somebody gave me. It might be a reaction somebody had to something I did. It might be a policeman following me in a car. That night, June 7th, after finding Mags and Paul, I'm sitting in a police car with David Owen asking me about my relationship with my wife and my son. And all those things coupled together after finding them, coupled with my distrust for SLED, caused me to have paranoid thoughts. Normally, when these paranoid thoughts would hit me, I could take a deep breath real quick and just think about it, reason my way through it, and just get past it really quickly.
Now, coming up tonight at 6, our investigative reporter Ann Emerson, she'll tell us how the jury reacted to hearing Alec's testimony. Plus, former South Carolina Attorney General Charlie Condon will tell us what the defendant's testimony means for this double murder trial.
Well, I mean, no, sir, that may or may not be true. Okay. And Mr. Waters, just to try to get through this quicker, I admit.
I know you want to get through it quicker, but we're not. So answer the question, please.
What I admit is that I misled them, I did wrong, and that I stole their money. Now, this is something, what's the date on that?
Alec Murdaugh, at times uncomfortable there on the stand during cross-examination today. Now, he's been on the stand since about 10:45 this morning, admitting to lie after lie.
And we watched as the defendant tried to speak directly to the jurors at points. Our investigative reporter, Ann Emerson, was in that courtroom. So, Ann, how did jurors react to the defendant's testimony today?
Well, when Alec Murdaugh took the stand, he was looking right at those jurors and he did not take his eyes off of them. And, you know, he was ready to present his own case. Remember, he's a lawyer, a former lawyer, and he was in the most important trial of his lifetime.
Part of that was clearing up the big lie exposed by the kennel video from Paul's phone. He told the jury he lied.
Were you in fact at the kennels at 8:44 p.m. on the night Maggie and Paul were murdered?
I was.
And on cross-examine, Alec backed that up again.
A few things I think we can agree on.
All right, sir.
You agree that the most important part of your testimony here today is explaining your lie for a year and a half that you were never down at those kennels at 8:44. Would you agree with that?
I think all of my testimony is important, Mr. Waters.
Would you agree that that's an important part of your testimony?
Sure.
Not only did he admit lying to law enforcement over and over again, he admitted stealing from clients.
I admit candidly in all of these cases, Mr. Waters, that I took money that was not mine and I shouldn't have done it. I hate the fact that I did it. I'm embarrassed by it. I'm embarrassed for my son. I'm embarrassed for my family.
And he set the record straight when it came to the T-shirt he had on the night of the murders. In a Snapchat video from earlier in the day, he was wearing a different set of clothes.
I'm well aware that my clothes never became an issue in this case until my lawyers proved that this blood spatter that they said I had on my shirt from my wife and my son was a lie.
And Alex said that he showered after that Snapchat video, not just because he was hot and sweaty from working outside, but because of his opioid addiction as well. We're going to have a lot more on this with our exclusive legal analyst, Charlie Condon, in a few minutes. Please stay with us. Reporting live in Walterboro tonight, I'm Ann Emerson, ABC News 4.
We are reaching the pinnacle of this trial, and it's taken quite a while to get to this point. It's now been 626 days since Margaret and Paul Murdaugh were killed in Carleton County. That was June 7th, 2021. It's been 224 days since Murdaugh was officially charged with killing his wife and son, July 14th, 2022. Murdaugh faces 30 years to life in prison if he is convicted.